Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Psychic Medium Ray, and today we're going to be doing a reading on Ozzy Osbourne. I know that a lot of you know that he recently passed. He had been battling Parkinson's as well as other things, and I feel like it's a perfect time to do the reading. We all know that it was due to old age and other things, but I'm here to kind of like give messages of comfort to the family if they happen to look at this, or your fans and people that may be watching this. There's a lot to Ozzy that I think that I will say that he was one of these souls that touched people through his music. Came into this life and brought made a lot of people happy, a lot of women and a lot of men, a lot of teenagers, when they were fans, happy through the music and healing. He healed a lot of people through that, but I also feel like there was a lot of level of darkness early on in his career, which these are things that are public knowledge that we probably already know, that he, may have had some drug issues, that he may have, struggled with a little bit of pull into the dark side. Meaning that I do feel like there were some darker things around magic and entities around him that's not really discussed, and he may not have discussed this, very openly. But I do feel that they were a part of his life, and so I do feel like when he met Sharon, obviously their years of marriage, and the love for each other, kind of, she was the reason why he changed, and sought a more softer side of himself, more connected and more grounded. Had she not been here, and this is what I'm getting from Spirit, had she not been in his life, or come in the time that she did, Ozzy would not have even made it to the age that he was at, that when he passed. He would have died in his 40s, 30s, 40s, most likely from an overdose or from other health issues. I feel like he battled some things health wise for a very, very long time. Even when he was younger, there was damage done to his body. So as I'm doing this reading, I'm connecting with his guides, my guides, and himself. And what I feel is like the messages that I'm getting is that he's sorry that he had to leave everybody, but everybody is called to the other side when it's their time, and there's nothing that we could have done differently, or that Sharon could have done differently, or anything that uh, Kelly or Jack could have done differently to prevent this. This was simply his time. I don't think this was his first brush with death, because I keep hearing near death experience or very close to it. So he might have had some other exit points that he chose to stay, or other health issues that could have led to something down the road that would have been like an exit point. So I'm going to start off the reading with these mediumship cards for messages directly. This deck is a good deck for mediumship for those of you that maybe are starting on your journey. I'm using it so that that y'all can see what I'm channeling. I don't need the cards, but I really think James Van Praagh did an amazing job with this deck when he did create it. And I know that I found solace in this deck by channeling using my energy when my mom passed. So I definitely have used this. It was introduced by a reader here locally. Her name's Miss Donna. She's just an angel. So yeah, I felt very connected to James' deck. So these are going to be messages directly to Kelly, Jack, and Sharon. And for those of you that are looking also to know what what is he saying, what are the messages here. The first thing that he says here, if I only had known then what I know now, I would have lived differently. So you have to remember that when we are here on Earth, sometimes we cannot see through our bullshit. We can't see through the things that we did, that are impacted, or, had an impact on the people that we left behind in a positive or negative way. I do think that he's not proud of that past. And I do think the Ozzy that made it to the age that he did right before he passed was a lot different and healed, and was a lot more in his alignment of his true self. This was like maybe like the last 20 years. I feel like he was really in the light, or gravitating toward it. He watches you every day. I watch over you every day. So he wants his children and his wife to know, again, that he is around them all the time and he's going to be watching them. I do think that Sharon is going to struggle a lot with this, and I do think that Sharon's soul is contemplating whether she wants to stay here or not. I know this is very difficult to hear, but because they were soulmates, it's not uncommon when one goes that the other one follows. Meaning that I definitely am not saying this is her time yet or that she's ready, but I do think that her health is also being compromised, and I think this is a big blow. She can easily bounce back from this, but I feel like she's tired as well. And so I wouldn't be surprised in the next 2 years or less, if she was to join, um, you know, if she decided, allegedly decided to join Ozzy on the other side. So one of the things he's saying here is my mind is free. So, I mean, I cannot make this shit up. This literally came out, this is talking about when you have Parkinson's, you have dementia. My mom suffered from dementia and Alzheimer's. You have no clue unless you've ever you took care of someone that has a terminal illness or something that kind of like dementia or Alzheimer's or Parkinson's that basically strips that person that you knew that was very strong once and independent. They become very childlike, very angry because their body can't do the things that they want it to do. So one of the things that I feel that I think the family will know, and this will resonate to them, or those that they were very close, like nurses, doctors, and to Ozzy, was that he felt very trapped in his body. He was very angry. If he was angry or beside himself, it wasn't because he lost his head or anything, but because he couldn't walk the way that he wanted, or he couldn't feed himself the way without shaking or without, going through all the things that you go through in the stages of Parkinson's. I do think that he had a lot of like those issues about not being able to know, because even though he may have seemed aloof or like not present, they are very present still in their body, but it's just like feeling trapped and confused and trying to understand this world. Why is he still here? Because I don't think that he wanted to stay in that kind of state, in that frail state, and being taken care of. Um, it was my time to go. Like I said, even before I channeled this, that I pulled these cards, I was channeling. When it's your time, it's your time. Nothing, and we can blame ourselves. And I think that Kelly is dealing with this very difficult. But Kelly is very intuitive. You have to remember she did a show with Kim Russo, and I think she's come out publicly and spoken about her paranormal experiences. Kelly, she is the daughter of Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne. I do think that she's very psychic and medium, and I think that she's going to receive messages from her dad. There is no time where I am. Time is only on Earth. So again, for him, it's very fresh. I think that he's around them. I don't think he's earthbound, but I do think that he is around and he's trying to give more so comfort right now to the family and to the fans. And then it says here, I'm sorry, please forgive me. So he is sorry for some of the conversations, things that he may have said, the things that he put Sharon through at the end, the things that she had to see. He says, baby, I love you. I'm sorry. And that's what I hear from him. I do feel like, don't be afraid is what he's saying. Because I know it's very scary, to navigate this life without without me. Because again, like I said, there were soulmates. It's like a part of her has died in the process. And he is with his parents. I felt like he was greeted by his parents, grandparents, and other people, other members of the band that have passed, or people that he knew, friends. He says, I feel healthy and happy, meaning like he can get up, he can dance, he can shimmy, he can do everything that he was not able to do at the very end. So this is, like I said, a freeing moment for him, more so celebration than anything. He says, I'm just a thought away. So again, that concludes that part of the reading, where he is explaining all these things, the main messages that he wanted for all of you guys to know. I feel like there's going to be a lot of docuseries or like a movie made about him and his life, because I feel like he's one of these influential people who, as much as he was popular, I think Ozzy really was like the hermit. He might have been surrounded by a lot of people, early on, but all he wanted was really to be left alone. And I think social media, as he got older, paparazzi, they all kept following, wanting to know, but he's free. This is him taking a risk, being free. He wants his kids to follow their dreams and to continue. That's the main thing here. Um, Page of Cups. So again, I feel like there is this feeling of like, um, they're painting their own canvas. He doesn't want them to feel like they live in the shadows of him, because they are the children of Ozzy Osbourne, that they can't, they want them to also get along with their sister. Is it Amy? I can't remember her name, but the sister that is less seen. This is Sharon holding it together. He says, "Baby, I know that you can do this." So she's got to be strong for them. She's going to be okay. I think that Sharon is going to be just fine through this. Of course, I say that, but I know it's difficult. I feel like a lot of them feel right now like stuck. Where do we go from now? Because Sharon's life and the kid's life probably revolved the last few years around caretaking, making sure dad was okay. And I feel like the one that's going to struggle the most might be a little bit Jack too, because again, I feel like there's a pattern there, and what he doesn't want is his son to fall into vices like drinking or drug use, because he misses his dad, because obviously he was close with his dad. But I do feel the Emperor's like his dad is watching over them, and I feel like there's gonna be a lot of good things that are coming for the children, projects that they're going to be involved in. I do see a tattoo, or Kelly getting a tattoo in memory of her dad and Jack too. So there is going to be obviously a tattoo that's done as well. But I also felt like there's something with the house, either eventually selling it and moving, but that will come in time. But I also felt like you know um, I feel like it's going to be an uphill battle, because a lot of like the kids want to keep his name pristine. A lot of people want to drag it through the mud. But like I said, I don't feel that Ozzy was a bad person. I think he's one of these people that was lured in by darkness, but ultimately chose to be in the light, and kind of saw the dangers of Hollywood and um, of the entertainment industry. Like he knew. And I think that he was targeted because of that. A lot of people tended to in the industry to like spread rumors and create problems, um, but ultimately he wants those of you that are fans to follow your dreams. Um, he doesn't want um, he doesn't want Sharon to struggle. So I think that he secured enough wealth, or there is enough wealth there for the family. Obviously, he doesn't want the kids to struggle, but also he wants them to be okay. And I think that they will be. Um, I do see the strength card here, and the justice card. So this was all karmic. I feel like he met his karmic soul ties here on Earth, and I feel like, you know, almost like this is going to require a lot of strength now for the kids and the family to forge ahead. But this is the love that he had with Sharon, and that he still has. These are the people that are hateful and spreading rumors and being disrespectful, but they're gonna get through it. There is a move here. I definitely feel like there is a move. So it could be where the estate that they lived in. I think it'd be good for the family to move. If I had to do a reading for them privately, I would tell them that it's probably good energy to move. And I do think when it comes to his belongings, they should keep a lot of the stuff, but also get rid of what doesn't need to be there. But I do feel like Ozzy is in a good place overall, and I feel like there's a lot of healing that is coming from this for him, and I think now the kids specifically, I'm always been drawn to Kelly, love her to death. I really feel like now she can really step into her power more so than anything, and I see her like really thriving and having her own show down the road. And I feel like there's going to be a reemergence of like the Osbournes. So like meaning like we haven't heard the last of them. Jack and Sharon and Kelly, they might have their own network show down the road, or something that Kelly gets, or Jack gets involved in. But I really, really send them big hugs, and healing, and wish them all the best. And I want to thank you guys for suggesting this video. Hopefully this found made you comfortable, and if you have any suggestions of other people that you'd like me to do a reading on, please let me know in the comments. All right, love you. Bye.